lose them if we don't wake up. And
how's it going, everybody? Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing.
And we're being robbed, and I'm going to explain all
Bada
that
bing,
to
bada
you
boom,
later
bada
in the
bing.
program.
All right, it's a good show. Let's check it out.
Also, we are going to look at an idea that I've come up with that I think is long overdue, and I'm really excited about this, really excited. And I've always said, people have said to me over the years, they said, gee, Maryland is really going downhill. Someday it's going to be as bad as Massachusetts or New York. I have told you over again. I have told you people over and over again that Maryland is the worst state in the nation.
Yeah.
It is so bad, people are leaving here and going with New York or Massachusetts. They're better than us. We are so bad in Maryland that we are in the belly of the beast. And if there's any state that needs what I'm going to be talking about, which I call Freedom Day, it's the state of Maryland. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And we'll talk about the new leadership in Baltimore City, where Brandon Scott is already fighting with Nick Mosby, the new president of the city council, who wants to add $700,000 in funding he wants to build his empire real quick. And I can only ask a simple question. Of course, we have Marilyn Mosby, the non-prosecutor who doesn't prosecute anybody, especially drug dealers. So what is worse than one Mosby? Two Mosbys. So
she become the Empress?
Yes. So now we have two Mosbys. So we'll take a look at that. Trump polls are interesting that they're coming out with. And we'll take a look at all of this. So first of all, I want to start off, and we'll start off with Leo.
Yeah.
Leo, there is much talk. First of all, we want to hear your opinion on this election being stolen, and how you feel about that, if you believe that, and also
I'll see a little bit.
The idea of President Trump running for re-election, for the next 4 years, but starting very soon.
Well, honestly, I think regardless of whether or not there was corruption in the election, a whole lot of people are dissatisfied with both how the election was run and the outcome. I definitely feel that even Democratic voters are motivated more by a dislike of Trump than enjoying Biden in the presidency. And finally, I think that Nevada has finally finished counting all their votes. But actually,
how about Iowa? Did they ever finish their Democrat primary votes?
Well, I actually think that we really need some kind of voter ID system in the United States. All other advanced democracies, or at least most of them, have systems like this. Even India has a system of voter identification that's more robust than what we have. And I think that would really contribute to lending more legitimacy to the election, trying to cut down on corruption and create fair elections so that they can't be manipulated in any way.
Yeah, I don't think that's asking too much. And 10 years ago, I introduced the voter ID bill in the state legislature, and it couldn't get out of the committee. But the Democrats and the Radicals definitely want to disrupt the whole system. Voting on election day, early voting, like you can start voting for the next presidential election next month. I mean, it's like ridiculous. It's extreme. But there was actually a commission on election fraud or election reform with Jimmy Carter and James Baker, the former Secretary of State and Chief of Staff. Mr. Baker, an prominent attorney from Texas. Of course, we know Jimmy Carter. And they came out with this was about six or 7 years ago. And they came out with some reforms, and here are some of the reforms. Number one, they said no mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots are easily subjected to corruption, fraud.
Yeah.
Second thing they said is especially no harvesting of email ballots. And harvesting is what Democrats in California do very well because it's legal there. And it's basically where you can go down to a block of 10 different houses and see if people are voting, and you vote, and then maybe they're not voting, but you vote for them, or you take their ballots and you're going to deliver them, and maybe if they voted Republican, you don't deliver them. So harvesting is a big deal. And they talked about voter ID also. So, go ahead, Leo.
Pennsylvania has some absolutely ridiculous laws when it comes to mail-in voting. Usually, with mail-in voting, the votes need to be postmarked by Election Day. However, in Pennsylvania, counters were given instructions that if the mail was received within 3 days of Election Day, to count it. And so that's just so
little
ridiculous.
bit of
Like, I could be
Christmas.
watching the election in real time and decide that, I'm going to fill
watch.
out my ballot
I mean,
now.
Yeah, and
Watch
the
it
other
listed
thing
right
that's
now.
a violation about that is that in Pennsylvania, according to their state constitution, just like in Maryland, the rules and laws and regulations related to voting must be passed by the legislature. The legislative law in Pennsylvania is that you can't do that. Those were state judges. And there's a question here of constitutionality that the Supreme Court's going to look at and say, these judges did not have the authority to change the laws. That was the legislature. So, Bill, the election itself, what are your thoughts?
Well,
on
first
it?
of all, with regard to what you just said, let's hope the Supreme Court has something to say and give a statement to these activist judges at all levels. I mean, certainly that was an example of that. My biggest thing about all this, we know that the Democrats are going to do this. It's been going on since the Daly Machine in Tammany Hall.
1960 election with John F. Kennedy.
Yes. The problem we have is the media blackout. I mean, the Democrats can do these things.
True.
They can do them blatantly. We've even seen where they've done them on camera. And what happens? People turn around, just like, 1984 Orwell. There is no evidence. They're looking right at the evidence, and the media won't print it. They won't broadcast it, so they can get away with it. And that's one of the things that we have to do when we talk about things like superstition and activism, because we have to basically be the voice that is being quelled out of here.
Well, I would say this: the media stole the election more than even the Democrats stole the election.
Oh yeah, they did. I mean, the Hunter Biden thing was ridiculous. I mean, you pass something on Facebook or social media, and the next thing you know, you either went to Facebook jail or you got censored out of there, and you couldn't post anything for 10 days, or they would just delete it or put things about it.
Something that people don't know, but they're talking about the National
The
Defense
phone is
Bill
ringing.
right now that the president is saying he doesn't want to sign it.
One
one of the reasons-
Of
Of course, he's a hawk on national defense. But one of the reasons is the 230 rule in relationship to the big tech. He has a clause in there, he has language in there to eliminate it. Now, the Republicans, the wussy Republicans are afraid to take it on, and the Democrats
I wasn't
who
here
have
for
been
that. I
complaining
wouldn't
are
know
afraid
anything
to
about
take it
that.
on,
But
and they
you
want
can
to
tell me
remove
something,
it.
get you on. What would you like
And
to
it's
talk
not
about?
getting any publicity either. So when I ask people what is the most powerful force
Man, really?
in the United States, and they'll say politicians, and it's not. It's the media is the most powerful force. The media is, if people understand the story, and I think most people do, of the Trojan horse. The media is the Trojan horse in America. It has taken down the walls of freedom and lied to us.
Was
And
the
I
stream
see a lot of the
affected?
stuff that's
Stream
going
was,
on,
something
this so-called Hate
restarted.
America, Destroy
Was that it, or
America
was it
movement
podcast
is a
itself?
lot like
Padlock.
what happened in the 30s in Germany with the Nazis, because they're
Oh,
misleading and
then that's
manipulating the
something that was
people. They're not
internal.
telling
Yeah, I
the
would ask
truth,
that question.
and
I
it's
don't
pretty
know
clear
right
they want
now.
to change this country.
Look at
And
the
you're the next- you're the very
1619
next
project.
caller.
Basically, the 1619
You're
project
welcome. Hold on,
is to say that everything America did since that time was wrong. Even if other countries did the same thing, America is the one that is guilty. This is directly out of the whole Marxist manifesto, where you tear down a nation's identity, and once you've done that, then another nation can come in and fill that vacuum.
Right, and that's for people like Leo, who's a young man who happens to know about history and understands it, but a lot of people don't. And if you don't understand your honest history and your patriotic traditions, then you don't know what you're defending. And you hear a big lie. And this is another thing about the media.
1 minute.
It's the big lie. Adolf Hitler said, if you tell a lie, make it a big lie. And if you make it a big lie, you keep repeating it and it becomes the truth. Classic example was with Trump all the time. Trump said that the people who were in the military were suckers. He never said that. He had 32 witnesses that were in Europe with him when he was supposed to say it, and they said he never said that. They also said that Trump in Charlottesville said that the white supremacists were okay. He was talking about the Daughters of the Revolution and the local townspeople who did not want the statues torn down. Even when he came down the escalator, and he said that there are certain illegal immigrants who are criminals, and then he clarified it by saying not all illegal, and he said that all were criminals. And they repeated that for 4 years.
See this?
That nonsense. The
See
big
that?
lie, they repeated it
Big fat lie.
regardless. And I was on Swear Off a couple of weeks ago, and I told the attorney, Arnold Weiner, who repeated that lie about Charlottesville,
Yeah.
I said, I will bet you $1,000, and I know you got a lot of money because you're a wealthy attorney. I will bet you $1,000 that he didn't say that, and I've got the tape that says it. He said, how can you say that, Pat? I've seen it 100 times on CNN. I said, yeah, you've seen the edited version Big Lie on CNN. You haven't seen the full statement on CNN. Anyway, we got to take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about Trump running for president. This is one of the best crab cakes in town. That's what he will say after having a great crab cake at
See if
Krabby
you can
Creek.
find the
Krabby
song
Creek
that
is
used to
open
be on
Monday
our
through
list,
Friday from 7 a.m.
Freedom
to
by
9
Paul
p.m.
McCartney.
and on Saturdays from 4 p.m.
Freedom
to
by
10
Paul
p.m.
McCartney.
And here's where it really gets great. Krabby Creek caters 7 days a week. Just call 410-494-9144 for your catering needs. There is also a full menu available from the Greek-style octopus to that great
Nothing there.
crab cake we talked about. Plus, there is live entertainment. You can enjoy authentic Greek music in the comfortable outdoor dining room. For more information, call 410-494-9144. Once again, the number is 410-494-9144. Do something special.
I got it.
Check out the Krabby Creek.
If you knew that making one call could help you get the Medicare coverage you need, wouldn't you do it? I did. In one call to United Healthcare, I learned
I can't talk right now, you fucking asshole.
coverage into a single plan for little
Oops.
or no extra money. With the AARP Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare, I get more coverage than original Medicare, like prescription drugs, dental and vision coverage, and 24/7 virtual doctor visits, all for a $0 copay. Plus, it's the only plan with the AARP name. So make that one call to United Healthcare at 1-800-ADVANTAGE. That's 1-800-ADVANTAGE.
Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Call United Healthcare now at 1-800-ADVANTAGE. Paid after portrayal, benefits and availability may vary by plan and location. $0 cost share for in-network preventive dental care. Specified services only. Additional vision charges may apply for out-of-network evidence and services. United Healthcare Insurance Company pays royalty fees to AARP for the use of its intellectual property. AARP and its affiliates are not insurers. AARP does not employ or endorse agents, producers, or brokers.
Selling your home creates a lot of questions, like how much is my home worth?
It's
Should I
rough.
sell now or
It's rough.
after the new year?
I know.
I'm Sean Casey, and if you have questions,
You gotta turn this
Vinny
off.
Steele with Remax Community has the answers.
Woo.
As one of Maryland's
Why?
top realtors,
Because
Vinny's
people call me during the show, so
exclusive
don't call me during the freaking show. Why you gonna call me during the show?
means he sells homes 3 times faster and for 4% more than the average agent. That's about $16,000 more on a $400,000 home.
Fucking need that
Because
smell of
Vinny
those
Steele
that-
drives buyer demand that yields the most money.
Hey, listen, Pat's going to talk about this, but there's an event coming up, okay? Saturday, December 19th at the Columbus Gardens, okay? It's 9 a.m. to 12 a.m., Columbus Gardens, 4301, Klosterman Avenue, Nottingham, Maryland, 21236. That's Saturday, December 19th, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. at the Columbus Gardens, 4301, Klosterman Avenue, Nottingham, Maryland, 21236. Keep your ears open because he's going to talk about that. He's going to talk about that.
First they said, where's the evidence for fraud? Now they want to know where is the evidence of massive fraud.
Unfiltered.
There's a filing that was just made in Pennsylvania.
Unfettered.
That is filled with sworn affidavits about systemic fraud.
Let's go.
Freaking believable.
You think you're going to find an email that says, hey, Frank, here's 200,000 empty ballots. Vote them all for Biden.
Mark Levin.
Wow, look what we found, ladies and gentlemen. What kind of fantasy land is
Pat
this?
song
It's
wants
the
it.
Great One. Weeknights at 10 on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
This is living freedom. Talking about freedom.
And now back to Super Citizen Radio on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Welcome back. Okay, we're going to get into freedom, not right now, but later on. We have a major announcement to make of a really exciting, and I mean exciting, project that Super Citizen and others are going to undertake in our great state, and long overdue. long overdue. I'm going to take a call now from Richard. He wants to talk about something that I want to talk about too.
Hey, Ricardo.
Richard, good evening.
Hey, good evening, Pat. Everybody there. The governor's commercial. First of all, I strongly object to his total lack of class in using inappropriate language. And my question is, does CBM really have to be required by law to carry that commercial?
I don't know the rules on that, but here's what I think. I think that the governor's commercial is violating the FCC rules. And I've told two legislators so far that here's what they should do. He uses the word damn. In the commercial, at the end of the commercial, he says, wear the damn mask. Number one, I believe that does violate federal communications law.
We just heard that.
Did you get beat just now?
Yeah, well, also it violates the fact that the young people, our children, are hearing this commercial from our governor. It's both on television and on radio. And number three, the taxpayers of Maryland, if there is any payment for this, we are paying for it. So I told two delegates and my state senator friend, please send a letter or an email, but I would send a formal letter to all 187 members of this General Assembly, both Democrat and Republican, and send a letter that the governor has to sign for that says, I demand that you immediately remove this commercial from the airwaves because it is an insult to the taxpayers of Maryland and a dangerous way of speaking to our children in this state. It is a very poor example, and you should not be using that kind of language using taxpayers' money.
Where the damn mask?
And I thought, now, my friend Bill Howard was talking about some of our Republicans and why they do not have the courage they should have. The three delegates or two delegates in Senate I talked to normally do have the courage. But these are the kind of things we've got to do. Because right away, the Baltimore Sun, even though it only has 50,000 readers, but that's going to be picked up. And that's going to make this governor look bad, which he deserves to look bad. He needs to be called out. And for a Republican to come out with that statement, it's going to make them and the party look good. I mean, it's for the children after all. So I would, let me tell you, if you remember my career in the legislature, guess what? That would have gone out already if I was still in the legislature. That would have gone out, and I would have had a news conference, and I would have been banging the hell out of him. So anyway, yeah, I think this is terrible.
I need the address.
Lockdown Larry is getting away with murder in a lot of ways. But I agree with
you. For what, this?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Pat. And this governor is really off the rails. And I'd really like to know just the status on
WCBM. That's on the show. Outside speaking his call.
I don't think he's launched a lawsuit.
Okay.
This is Dave from San Francisco.
I hope he has.
I'll get to Dave. Hold on.
I believe he has proposed a lawsuit. But he's talking about impeachment. Now, he has the authority to propose a lawsuit, but impeachment must come
Dave,
from
what would you like to talk about?
Itself. I'd like to know...
the Gallup over.
Mr. Farouk is a great man. He's a super citizen. We love him. And I hope he has launched this.
Okay, I'm going to put you right on there.
Yeah, if it goes to a vote by Democratic legislators, you know what's going to happen.
I wrote San Francisco.
We got it. I mean, he said he's thinking, wear the mask. Okay, so will Governor obey the Constitution?
There you go.
You know, I mean, but let me ask you a quick question before I get off of here. When you filled in last week for Derek Hunter, I missed the Friday show, so I was going to listen to the podcast. Either one of those days are on.
Here's the address.
Do you have any idea why
if you want to come down and say hello.
I know Sean was on vacation. And Nino,
here's the address. If you want to come down and say hi, nice.
When I come in and do anything,
here's the address. You want to come down
by having certain subjects
and say hello to Betsy Bootsy Batsa Batsa Botsa Botsa Beatsy.
And when I fill in for Derek,
that's the address.
I do the same thing. So
Amen.
I figured nobody's going to be calling me because it's Thanksgiving. Not many, because it's Thanksgiving and Black Friday. So I had 4 subjects prepared. When I sat in, the phone rang the first minute I was in, and for 2 days it rang continuously.
Oh, good. That's good, Pat.
I attract, let me tell you, in daytime radio, I attract so many calls, I can't even talk. So I told the producer, I said, you think it would be out of line if I announced and said, would you people please stop calling me so that I can say what I'd like to say? And he said, I don't think that would go over too well.
We need to get you back in the Maryland General Asylum. Or
No, never.
The House.
Never.
Pretty adamant there.
Never.
Maybe the governor's mansion. Can we get
No. Well, Bob was the last Republican governor. No, you couldn't put me in there. If my good friend, who was like a son to me, JB, the state senator, if he quit tomorrow and people came to me and said, Pat, would you take a seat for 2 years at least? No.
Yeah, I really wouldn't wish it on you, Pat. I'd like to see you keep your sanity. If you go to the state legislature, that's not a sure thing.
It's a stressful experience.
Stressful
I'm doing what I wanted to do. When I left the legislature after 20 years, I said to Valerie, I have a plan. We can either move to Sarasota or we can save America. She said, it sounds like a great plan. I'm going to Sarasota, you go save America.
Well, I'm glad you made that choice, Pat.
But thank you, Richard.
Pat, can I say something about Richard's
certainly.
original question? I also have a little problem with some of that language because it seems like people want to have some shock value. It's like, we're going to push the envelope. And, you know, today it was where the word with the mask.
It is.
Is it going to be another
right.
4-letter word from
Oh, I
somebody
hope
else
Bozer's
later
listening
on?
because this is true.
I have a real big problem with us, you know, peeling away the innocence from children and things like that. There used to be, Supreme Court had the safe harbor rule where you didn't put that kind of garbage in front of children.
I don't think you can on the airwaves. I really don't.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. I'm a little overwhelmed and a little busy.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do it. I sent out Valerie handles our Facebook. It's Valerie McDONOUGH, by the way, if you want to go to our Facebook operations. And we sent out a Facebook tonight that says that Governor Rhino is turning our citizens into snitches and our state police into stormtroopers, just like the radical Democrats have the same kind of mindset. It reminds me of the politics in Germany of the 1930s. So that went out, and she told me before I left that we are getting hits and shares all over the place on this. And I think she put a picture of a rhino with the thing. But no, this is crazy. Now, this shows the kind of judgment and how arrogant this governor is.
But a bunch of governors are acting like that. I mean, there's one up in Michigan.
Governor Whitlis and all of them are like, that's a Democrat trend of that authoritarian rage, oppressive gene that they have. The Democrats, you know, socialism is the gateway to oppression.
Right, it is.
You look at it throughout history.
Right, it is.
But and Democrats are in that category. But for this governor, and he definitely has that Democrat gene, he should become a Democrat. He doesn't really. He's not even.
WCBM, the Pat
Republican,
McDonough
he's a
Show,
rhino.
Ron Sauer speaking.
But
Who's calling?
to
Please?
use that word, like, I'm a tough guy. I'm a strong
All right,
guy.
Becca, wait a minute.
I'm going to shock the public, and that'll get them to wear the
Where are you calling
mask.
from, Becca?
No, Governor, you're a jerk.
Parkville.
Well, you remember, like with Biden when they first announced Obama.
And what would you like to talk
And
about
he
tonight
got
about?
caught on the mic using the F word with regard to Obamacare.
Governor Hogan. Got it.
Well, here's the deal, dude. Come on. All right, let's take another call here.
All right, Becky, hold on. We'll get you on, okay?
Dave.
Thanks.
Dave, good evening.
Go, Dave.
Yeah, I'm the guy out in California.
Oh, God. Have you guys cleaned that poop up off the side?
There are apparently human freaks, and they have for you know, we have, I think, something like 15,000 homeless.
I'm dying.
We also have somewhere between, based on how busy Uber is, we have up to 60,000 Uber drivers in the city at any given time.
Well, didn't they do something about the Uber drivers where they changed the law making it hard for Uber to survive in California? Another oppressive rule about Uber drivers have to be not considered independent people anymore. They have to be considered employees. and Uber is like going out of business because they can't afford that nonsense?
Well, that's because they were slave drivers, and slave drivers go out of business. With
Well, you know, I guess you're right about that because in
Bada bing, bada
California,
boom.
they are very anti-slave drivers. They're even anti-jobs. They don't want people to even work, let alone be slaves.
I'm trying to give you an answer on where all this poop is coming from.
Oh.
Because the slave drivers don't provide toilets for their drivers. They don't contract for some place for these drivers to go.
Oh,
So there's
okay.
only maybe 17,000 homeless in the city, but there are
Yeah.
potentially 60,000 butts in Uber cars that don't have a place where they can take care of.
I got you. I see. So in other words, if Uber were to provide maybe
WCBM,
mobile
Donna Sherman,
toilets
Sarah,
or
speaking of
access
call.
and maps for where toilets are located, then they would be in a better work environment,
Oh, Rob,
and
hold on,
maybe that would
Robert.
help the system.
Absolutely. In the middle of an epidemic? No,
where you calling from, Robert?
It's interesting you raise this because when I came to California in 1990, there was a,
Sure can.
you know, California or San Francisco for years has had
Oh, would you like to talk about the election fraud?
2 million tourists a year.
Not now.
Sure can. You can throw a word off of that and go somewhere else.
It's gotten up to 4 and 5 million
I'm
a
serious.
year, but it's, yeah, for
The election
the most
fraud.
part, it's in the
Okay,
millions.
you just hold
No,
on,
no,
Robert,
they're
we
not
can
going
see.
there. Nobody's going to San Francisco.
No, you
I
want
lived.
to.
I lived in
Virginia.
San Francisco for 6 months in 1969 when it was doing well, and it did well for many years. But the Democrat politicians destroyed the city. Everybody's leaving San Francisco. They can't afford the housing. But I want to ask you to do something for me, Dave.
Well,
I don't agree. I don't agree
Hold
with
on.
you on anything, but I do like you.
I'm still trying to answer.
Well,
your
I'm gonna give you time. Don't worry about it. But here's what I want you to look up. Seriously, I want you to look up on Google political philosophy as related to brain physicality. I mean, it sounds like I'm joking, but if you look that up, and I tell other, not just Dave,
Again, political.
personal political philosophy, like whether you're a liberal or a conservative, as related to brain physicality.
What, right brain, left brain?
It's even more than that. In fact, the university in your state, UCLA, is one of the biggest research institutions in this field, and Duke University is another one. But it shocked me at how many higher education institutions are studying this.
Well, that might make a difference on who was admitting the students for a certain amount of years to get your answer.
No, it's like simply like serial killers.
2 minutes.
If you study the brain physicality of
How
serial
you been doing?
GOP or serial killers?
No.
She would no, she's not like that.
No, but this is why we can't communicate with one another, because, for example, the brains of liberals, most of them, it's not all of them, but the brains of liberals, they have, it's not only the brains, they have, the brains of liberals, they have more Neanderthal genes in their system, about 20% more than
So you're saying
Republicans.
somebody like the GOP is the master of race? Maybe that's what you're saying that this is all about?
Actually,
It's okay for people to die in an epidemic?
Can you do a stream
well,
line
no,
out for me?
that is,
So everybody knows.
nobody has said that, in fact. I don't know, but see why
We got
Healthcare?
We got a special announcement, and everybody write the Supreme Court. Here's the full information of where you have to do and where to write it.
No, I don't.
No, you can just stand here. You can stand here and tell them. They'll hear you.
Okay, I've been listening to George Norrie overnight on WCBM, the radio station. Of course, he was on the Mueller report. He had to get a lawyer for his good situations involving Donald Trump.
Yes.
And he's a good friend of Donald Trump. Anyway, look on the internet at CorsiNation.com. CORSI Nation.com.
Is that the address?
Yes, now, what we have to do is he petitioned the Supreme Court. If everybody of these 74 million voters, even, I know 74 million aren't going to vote, aren't going to write. If you write the Supreme Court, here's the address, the Supreme Court of the United States, number 1, 1st Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., 20543. Again, the Supreme Court
of the United States, 1st Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., 20543.
Just
Right.
one page. That's all.
Just
it
one
has to
page is
be.
all you need.
Say you were a voter. You're disenfranchised. Your vote didn't count.
Right.
There's chaos in it.
Right.
Let the Supreme Court intercede.
And the address
Because
is...
what'll happen? It'll go to Congress.
That's right. And here's the address for you to have a voice. For you to have a voice. All right?
All you have to get.
Supreme Court of the United States, 1st Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., 20543.
And
Do
of
something
course,
now. We
all
just
you're
got that in.
investing is a 50-cent stamp.
50
That's
cent.
it.
That's it. 50 cent stamp.
All right, very good. Do that as soon as you could.
And of course, Biden had
This
no
was
coattails
real. See,
whatsoever.
we always have the best, first, hot off the press. Jimmy Olsen, he became Superman because of stuff like that. There you go. Find your phone booth and become a super citizen.
If you
And-
remember the movie back in the, I guess it was an old movie, The Miracle of 34th Street.
Oh, that's a great freaking movie.
Right, well, they don't put it on anymore because it's too nice. Well, what it was about was Kris Kringle was the real Santa
The
Claus.
real deal.
And they had a judge, they took this guy to the court, the psychiatrist, and everybody. It was crazy. But when they came in with the evidence, they came in with sacks and sacks of letters. And there was no way that they could disprove that.
And we'll talk about that in Baltimore.
So again, send your letters.
All right.
The Supreme Court of the United
Oh,
States,
we got to take a break. Okay, Ron, take a break.
1 First Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., 20543. Very good. I don't know if... Am I wrong?
Looking at mostly
What's
clear
this?
skies,
Still
temperatures
recording me?
for the
Yeah,
most
it's-
part,
it's-
right
here's
now,
everything you're saying.
Fall back to low 30s.
Shut it. I
For
wonder if
Sunday,
Pat would
a little
want to
bit of
know
a cool
this.
finish to the weekend.
Tell him right now. You got a
A
good.
little bit of a light wind, but
He's got a good break right now.
Party body Sunday night overnight low near 30. And then for Monday, we are mostly sunny to open up the work week. Temperatures running up to the low to mid 40s, and they will keep warming up from there.
That's a cool man. Hey Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, hey Santa, hey Santa, hey Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, hey Santa Claus, hey Santa freaking, hey Santa. Oh,
You're making the most of being at home. I haven't seen you work out this hard in years.
I feel great. And honestly, taking Nugenix makes a huge
No.
difference for me.
Nugenix. That's the testosterone booster that has the TV ads with Frank the Big Hurt Thomas, right?
Yeah, it's an amazing product. The patented ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass. Nugenix is a great way to boost lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Well, you are looking good. You've been quite the tiger lately, too. Nugenix is...
he's a great guy. This guy is a great guy. He is.
Yeah, and all I had to do was send them a text to get my complimentary bottle. Text TAP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
Woo!
Hey,
Hey, Santa Claus.
testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text TAP to 42424 right now. Text TAP to 42424. That's TAP to 42424.
Not all homeowners insurance is the same, and not all homeowners insurance companies are the same either. Baltimore Equitable Insurance offers you the most comprehensive customer service around while offering you the homeowner's policy that returns all of your money when you're done with it. Seriously. Baltimore Equitable has been around for 226 years, so they must be doing something right. This is how it works. You pay insurance, and when you no longer need the insurance, you get all your money back. You heard right. All of your
The
money.
first. This. You got 20 minutes left for the first hour. That's how fast it went. That's how fast it went. I can't believe it. 2 hours of power every freaking Saturday night starting at 8 o'clock.
Wouldn't it be nice to have
Pat
all of
McDonough
that
Show
money back?
on Super
They've been
Citizen
around
Radio
since
right here
Washington was in office.
at AM 680
Economic activity
WCBN.
possible. The good, the ugly, yes, even pandemics. Personalized service to fit your needs. Think it's too good to be true? Call Baltimore Equitable Insurance today and see what they can do for you. 410-727-1794. Great homeowners insurance in 1794.
Guys, you've heard me ask 2 questions for years. Has the little blue pill let you down? And are you having trouble in the bedroom? At MyMen'sClinic.com, let us help you to gain your independence and stand tall again. Come on in. See our licensed medical staff. You will see results then and there, or that appointment is absolutely free. Guys, that's free. Why should she?
Hey, Zan. I like that song. You ever written that's in my head. Oh my God. Hey, Zan.
Wow.
Stop it!
Now, you can book a
Stop
ride,
it!
give us a call. The appointment's only $149. But guys, that's only if you see a positive result. Schedule online or give us a call. You got nothing at all to lose and everything in the game. Guys, book online at mymensclinic.com or call 443-892-7292. Again, mymensclinic.com or call 443-892-7292.
Ron Bowie.
Guys, let's fix it.
I'm gonna call Ron Bowie. Rob Bowie. Are you gonna call Rob Bowie? I'm gonna call Rob
Listen every
Bowie.
Sunday
You call
from 6:05
Rob Bowie
to
too.
6:20
That's what
a.m.
you're
for a
gonna do.
broadcast from the internationally known St. Jude Shrine in Baltimore. St. Jude is the patron saint of despair and hopeless cases. Join us in prayer every Sunday from 6:05 to 6:20 a.m. on WCBM.
When your vehicle needs help, Jeff's Automotive Services is the place to go. Your vehicle will be worked on by Automotive Service ASE certified technicians. Jeff services all vehicles, including cars, SUVs, trucks, both medium and light duty, and there are always specials available at Jeff's Automotive Services. Just call 410-682-5700. Jeff's Automotive Services is locally owned and conveniently located in the heart of Essex at 313 Mace Avenue. Jeff's is the winner of the Best Automotive Service Award for 2019 by the Avenue Newspaper Readers Poll. Jeff's offers 10% discounts to all seniors and active military members and would like to thank our military members for their service. Jeff's Automotive Services has a name.
But that's what the people want to hear. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do.
If George Norris, I mean,
Jeff's Automotive Services.
if George, Jerome Corsi said it.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll go for it. Everybody here heard that.
Greg Kelly reports his breaking ratings records. It's the hit new show on Newsmax.
No, I said this is what I found out. This
on
was
Greg Kelly, and every night more than 2 million people tune in. Kelly is a former combat Marine pilot and White House correspondent. He's asking the tough questions the media won't. Tune into Greg Kelly on Newsmax at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, watch Newsmax for Dick Morris, Rudy Giuliani, Michelle Malkin, Alan Dershowitz, Diamond Silk, Mike Huckabee, and a lot more. Newsmax is on all major cable systems like DirecTV, Dish, Xfinity, Rogers, Optimum, Spectrum, Fios, and more. If you don't get Newsmax, call your cable operator today. Tell them you want it. Plus, watch Newsmax TV for free on Roku, Zumo, YouTube, Pluto, Apple TV, and even smart TVs like Samsung Plus and LG. Newsmax is already one of America's top cable news channels. Find out why. Watch it today. Newsmax is real news for real people. You should watch Newsmax.
And now back to Super Citizen Radio on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Our special guests are Leo Hajnowski.
Papa was Rolling Stone is a damn good
former
song.
Baltimore
Tammy,
Bill
woo! Betsy's over there.
Howard, want to remind you on the 19th of December, that's a Saturday, I think it's 2 Saturdays from now, we are going to have our Christmas party at Columbus Gardens in Perry Hall. It's on the 19th. It's from 9 till 12. If you're interested in attending, visit our
WCBM, the Papa Donor Show, Ross
SuperCitizenUSA.com. The information's there, PayPal, or if you want to call me personally,
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
410-238-0025. And I will tell you, our events are sold out. So if you want to get in on this one, 410-238-0025. Now,
but you know,
here,
it's darker earlier. You know, I'm a little tired. You know how it is.
It's hard to see sometimes on this computer because of the lighting.
Yeah.
I think it's Becca. She wants to talk about
I don't even ask him what
Governor Hogan. Good evening.
Hold on. Hey,
Hi.
we got one more person ahead of you, and then you're on, Fred. Great hearing from you, and
Good,
holidays, and stand on Mass Pro with the lights looking Oh, during the Mass, yeah. I'm just paying some lips on the wind.
Really offensive slogan, Mass slogan.
You take care, Fred. I hope you call next hour. Can you call next hour too for me?
We hear him.
I'll keep the mask on. I'm wearing a freaking diver helmet. No, I shouldn't say. Well, it's getting like that. But you should call during the Tom Moore show next hour.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. Yeah, he needs to be straightened out too. Okay. Hold on now. Hold on.
Well, that's got to come
Fred.
off
Remember
the air.
Freddy's great.
Yeah.
I was going to talk to our law firm about filing an injunction on it, but
Oh man, you should
I'll tell you, I'll be honest
hang
with you,
out in
Rebecca, we are
Betsy's-
so busy with so many irons in the fire.
With Betsy,
that our lawyers.
Yeah, I know. That's all right. But thank you so much for stopping by, man. I was just like, where'd you go? But it's great.
Yeah, I went down and got a
Well,
drink. They still have,
He should get a
they still have
pardon from the
styrofoam
governor.
cups. That's nice.
You know,
Yeah, they do.
Maybe you
Geez
should call the
whiz.
governor's
They don't
office
sell- I
number
can't
one.
get them anymore.
Really? Get them from me?
Well, it's on Google or it's on the governor's Facebook
No,
website.
because of the
You can
Green
look that up
Deal.
and send them an
That's
email
why
or
I've
talk
been
to one of
showing
his people. Or,
Sunday
it would be
morning,
interesting,
Monday
call the
morning, it
Baltimore
might be
Sun
going off at 12
and talk
o'clock.
to
That might
their
be the end of
editor,
Mary
who's
Prosthetic
named Andy
Fox
Green,
News.
or they have other editors there.
Sean
That
got
phone
rid
number,
of
for anybody
Fox
out there that
News
wants to call
beginning
the Sun,
I guess
I think
as
the
soon as
Sun might
Monday
agree.
At 12 o'clock.
Wow.
It's Salem. It's going to be Salem Broadcasting.
Oh, good God.
Salem.
Well, the number
Like
the number for the
cigarette,
Sun
it's really
is
smoking.
I was thinking about the witch trial myself.
332-6000.
Maybe
Anybody out there wants
I
to...
won't be able to hear them say,
I'm sorry?
say Mary Prosthetic.
410-332-6000.
We're gonna have Fox News right now. As soon as we
Her name is Mary Prosthetic.
And I don't
Mary
know, you might
City
want
is
to
the
call,
Fox
also
News,
call here
and
in
we're
the
going to
morning next
have
week with Sean or Derek. They have a larger, we have a larger list.
what's that? And we're going to serve shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
Oh!
Give you a little help. I work with autistic children.
Incompetence
One of the
and
things that you can
incompetence,
also do
and
is
also
try
fish,
to,
and also
something new
chips.
then. There's certain stimulation it gets from using that phrase.
remember
And so
Mary
if you can find something
Oh, Mary
that's more
Poppins.
appropriate,
There was Arthur.
that
I'm the little, I'm the lie, I'm the little, I'm the lie. I
There,
love
there
that.
was Arthur Treacher in that movie.
Oh, man, it's great.
Yeah. If we could replace the governor, that would be good too. All right, thank you, Beck. Appreciate the call. I hope you do well. And we're going to work on this. We got to do something about this.
Super citizen.
I mean, it's so easy for one of these legislators to send a letter out. I'll send it out.
I'm gonna have to do
if I
this.
have to. I'll give it another week.
Because I'm not wearing them like
The
that's okay. They
law
still
firm
work
is
though.
overwhelmed, to be honest with you,
Thank
with
you
stuff
so
that we
much.
have in the pipeline.
I gotta pay attention
Leo,
to
I want
this.
to ask you about this.
But thank you so
I'll
much.
call you around for it and keep the phone
The
on.
president has indicated he may
Great.
run for
You got it. I'll
re-election.
do
See you
that.
later.
Take care. Thanks a lot, huh? Thanks a lot.
Maybe
Bye-bye.
start early. We're not sure. What are your thoughts on that possibility?
Honestly, I don't think it's the best move for the GOP to nominate Trump in
with the Rolling
2024.
Stones.
I do think it'll be interesting to see if they try to replicate that kind of success with the anti-establishment attitude that made Trump so successful. I think if they want to win the presidency in 2024, their best bet is to find a candidate who can light a fire in voters like Trump did,
There it is.
but without all the baggage that comes with him. I know there are a lot of voters who have been conditioned at this point to vote against him, regardless of how good a candidate he is. I hope that the GOP can ride that momentum that Trump brought and internalize it into their party rather than it just staying with President Donald Trump. But I don't know if they'll be able to do that. I would ideally love if we could find a candidate who can appeal to those working class voters, but also urbanites and maybe a younger candidate who can appeal to voters my age.
Well, I would say this. First of all,
Oh, everybody. Mike High
understand
says hi. Ow, happy. No, I don't
my
say
first
happy.
reaction
Merry
is
Christmas,
there
babe.
isn't anybody
Merry
like
Christmas.
Trump, and there
Merry-
isn't anybody in the Republican
Merry
establishment
Christmas. Hold on, let's
that
do
will
this.
carry out the Trump
Do-do-do-do-do.
philosophy, which is the new
Okay.
populism.
Don't make it
and
go up
that
and
Trump
down.
was very successful
Whee!
with minority
Yeah.
voters.
Yeah.
And in the latest poll that I was talking about, he received 41% in the latest poll of young people under 30.
Betsy
So
Bootsy-
he was generating
Betsy
as time went
Bootsy,
on, despite the big lie. And despite
she
the
wore her,
manipulation, he was growing in popularity on issues that matter. Now, here's why there's three
reindeer.
reasons why I think he should run. First of all, to be honest, and he has said this many
here, Beth.
times, and I have picked it up immediately
baby.
when
Come
he
here, come
first became a candidate. This is not about the Republican Party or the Democrat Party. This is a movement. 30% of the people that vote for Trump are Democrats. 30%, it's interesting, 30% of the people
There she
who are
goes.
members of Super Citizens
got
are
Betsy
Democrats.
Bootsy.
because We're nonpartisan. It is a movement.
she is.
Now, that movement at this time in our history is absolutely
Oh my
necessary
God.
because
There
there
it
are two
is.
forces in this country. One force is to blame America, hate America, destroy America.
So now you know.
And they are very powerful, and they are very relentless, and they're not going away, and they're actually winning this war. Now, we are the Save America Patriots, and he united us. He's the first president or politician that united that force of 73 million people. I believe if he goes out of the picture, that goes out of the picture, that movement and that force will begin to disintegrate.
You too.
Now, I think he should run for president, but he should run for president immediately. And the reason he needs to run for president immediately is to keep that force together, to energize and inspire them and make it grow. That's number one reason. Number two reason,
Ron Savage and
there's
Francis,
no question
come by,
that
you know,
the
everybody
media
can see.
will continue the big lie, and they will have a love fest with Biden, lying to us about him doing good things when he's doing evil things.
Yes.
And we need to have someone who has a bully pulpit. And there's only one person in America that has that power and bully pulpit to counter the lying media, and that's Donald Trump. And to do it as a presidential candidate gives him more credibility. The third reason, which is very important, is what we were talking about, is voter corruption. The problem with voter corruption and having to find out about it and document it is we're talking about an election that was a few weeks ago, and then we have a nomination. It's like a 3-month period. And we also have a virus. But even without the virus, the courts and investigations move too slow to get to the bottom line. He needs to form a commission. He needs to raise, and once again, he's the only man in America, the only person in America who can raise $100 million. And that $100 million should be part of a PAC. And that PAC should hire lawyers, investigators, which are very important.
Yes.
CPAs.
No.
And techno geeks in particular.
Techno geeks.
And there should be no deadlines. That commission, and it cannot be the government commission. It's got to be a private commission, which he raises money for, and we contribute to, and they begin a long-term, in-depth study of the voting systems in America.
Amen.
And it has to be deep, and it has to take time. You know, we formed special commissions for the John F. Kennedy assassination. We formed special commissions for the 9/11 tragedy.
Yeah.
The greatest tragedy in America is the stolen election and turning us into a banana public.
Yeah.
We need to commit with the best and brightest for a long period of time to study this, but we can't have the government do the audit.
2 minutes, heartbreak.
So that is the main reason I want him to run, because he unites and inspires the movement, he counterbalances the big lie, and he organizes the opportunity for study and investigation of the voting system. The Republican Party, Leo, does not have any personalities.
This is very true.
That would run for president that can do any of those things. Now, here's the other reason. He will help re-elect in 22 and to give us the power of the House. We will get the House back. We just saw that with these recent elections. With him in power, giving us the inspiration, we will take the House. And that's important. He will help us to win state and local elections. In 22 in Maryland. Not Maryland, I mean, what can you do? But in general, he will help us, and he will help us with ballot positions of things like in California, where the liberals lost that ballot issue, and in Illinois where so Trump is the central piece of a movement. He's not really a politician. It's not really about Republicans and Democrats. And so that's why I think he should run. And I think he needs to run early, and he needs to be active, and he has to do rallies. Now, he won't have the burden of the presidency, which is, of course, obviously time-consuming. But he can address every issue, and people, he may even get involved in the media. There's talk about him getting involved with purchasing Newsmax. But I believe he needs to run. That's my opinion.
Well, when we come back, I'll give you the fourth reason.
Well, you can do it right now.
Yeah, we're on a hard break.
Well, we can take a break. Oh, we got to take a hard break. I'm sorry. The Unstoppable News, and we will listen to Bill Howard's commentary when we return. I didn't realize it was
Stay connected and stay informed on the #1 news talk station, Talk Radio 680, WCBM, Baltimore, and WCBM.com.
Another rally in Georgia, but not for him. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News.
I'll be back.
President Trump campaigning in Georgia tonight for Republican incumbent Senators Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue, who are in a runoff that will determine the balance of power. The president holding a rally in Valdosta, Georgia, warning what could happen if the Democrats win.
They will change America forever. The radical Democrats, if they get power, they will immediately abolish the Senate filibuster, allowing them to pass any bill they want and giving them free rein to ram through the most extreme left-wing agenda ever conceived, while at the same time destroying our military through a lack of funding.
The president began his speech by once again claiming he won the election and vowed to continue legal challenges. Senator Loeffler, Democratic opponent Raphael Warnock will debate tomorrow night in Atlanta. Republican David Perdue was invited to debate his opponent, Democrat John Ossoff, but bowed out. Ossoff and Warnock holding a drive-in rally today in Conyers, where Ossoff called Perdue a coward.
If David Perdue doesn't want to answer questions in public and debate his opponent, that's fine. He just shouldn't run for re-election to the United States Senate.
Tomorrow night's debate on the Fox News channel. Much of California facing an urgent need for hospital beds, forcing new lockdown measures beginning tomorrow night in Southern California and the San Joaquin Valley. Hospital ICU capacity in those areas fell to the threshold to trigger the new measures. The Bay Area also deciding to impose new lockdown measures. New England getting socked by a powerful nor'easter. Thousands are without power and travel is treacherous in many areas. Forecasters say the higher elevations could see up to 18 inches of snow before the system moves out sometime tomorrow. America is listening to Fox News.
One of the hardest things wrapping my head around is how can someone so safe fall victim to this heinous crime?
In our next episode of House of Broken Dreams, travel with us to Florida, where we meet the people who know Jennifer Cassie best and hear how her disappearance has affected her loved ones.
I was in therapy sometimes 2 to 3 times a week.
It's very hard for people to really comprehend. Like, how asinine this is. It's just like, just don't understand me.
Available now on Apple Podcasts.
Did you hear the news? Now you can. With instant updates from Fox News for Amazon Alexa. Breaking stories and top headlines. Daily coronavirus developments. The economy and so much more. Brought to you by Fox News, America's #1 cable news network. Plus, setup couldn't be easier because everything's ready to go in the app. Just say,
Alexa, play news from Fox.
In Fox News.
It's the latest when you need it. On demand from Fox News and Amazon Alexa.
Another election milestone brings President-elect Joe Biden one step closer to his inauguration.
The state of California on Friday certifying its presidential votes and appointing 55 electors pledged to vote for Democrat Joe Biden on December 14th, officially handing him the Electoral College majority needed to win the White House. California Secretary of State Alex Padilla's formal approval of Biden's win, putting his tally of pledged electors so far at 279, just over the 270 threshold for victory, despite ongoing state-level legal challenges by the Trump re-election campaign, the vast majority of which have, up to now, been tossed out by various courts. Paul Stevens, Fox News.
Solving the mystery of the monoliths. Fox's Kara McHugh.
They've been popping up in several spots around the globe, from Utah to Romania. Social media has been peppered by photos and videos of the stark stainless steel objects. Millions are asking, where did they come from and why are they here? Well, I may have the answer. A collective of artists from New Mexico is
ready for part 2, baby.
credit for the kerfuffle. The most famous artist global creative community, located in Santa Fe, said as much in an interview with Mashable. But Matty Moe, the founder of the artist group, got a little cagey with the tech publication, citing the legalities of the original installation.